have said, Ye are gods, and all of you are children of the Most High.
For Zion's sake will I not hold my peace, and for Jerusalem's sake I will not rest, until the righteousness thereof go forth as brightness, and the salvation thereof as a lamp that burneth. And the Gentiles shall see thy righteousness, and all kings thy glory, and thou shalt be called by a new name, which the mouth of the Lord shall name.
Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, Bahasham, Racha Kodesh. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the elect. All right, I wanted to do this video, dealing with, a quick exhortation. All right, to remember, all right, what exactly we're fighting for, and to keep on fighting, and going harder. Now, on my way home today, I was walking around and, just meditating, and usually I look up in the skies, in the heavens, all right, and, sometimes you'll see a chariot, or just when there's no chemtrails up in there, you see the clear skies. It's peaceful, for me it is, and it's like calming, and then you look back down, and as you look back down and your eyes hit the buildings, the top of the buildings coming on down, to the people, all right, and then to the, to the trash that you basically see, then the remembrance of the affliction comes right back, you're like, damn, man, that shit whack. But nonetheless, it's also a reminder, a constant reminder, to stay hungry, to stay on fire, because there's a reason the Lord put us in these conditions he put us in. Now, every individual is different, okay, and we go through different things. We all catch hell different ways, Overall, it's the same, but it's different for everybody, and you notice that we all, to an extent, have some form of a thorn in our side, like Paul did. And that's whether it's a physical infirmity or financial, whatever the case may be, but the point is to keep us, all right, in the spirit of, as Apostle Tahar coined it, hastening, onto the coming of the day of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. All right. And the Lord does that. Okay. Because think of it like this. If you ate once and you would never get hungry ever again, you wouldn't desire, you wouldn't have to work for food. You wouldn't desire food like that. All right. But the Lord wants us to desire the kingdom. He wants us to desire to get out of here. And so he keeps us, he'll give you benefits here and there. All right. But if you're in the right spirit, you realize that it's never enough, and not in a greedy way, but in a way of no matter what you get here in Babylon or, anywhere in the world, for that matter of fact, you can be the richest man on the planet Earth. But if you are of the elect, deep down inside, you're going to know that it's not enough. It's never enough, because it's not the kingdom of heaven. All right. We want absolute freedom. We want absolute joy, absolute power. OK, we want perfection on earth. That is the kingdom of heaven. That's what we want. And in an imperfect world, as imperfect creatures on the flesh, no matter what you get here, it's not going to be perfect. Why? Because it's not going to be in the kingdom, and so it isn't until we actually get there that we're going to be satisfied. Okay. But even in that, the Lord he's going to open up, it's going to be a new world. All right. The kingdom of heaven is going to be a completely new world, a new age. Everything is going to be new. All right. The foundational core of it, the concepts of how things work will be similar, but it'll be on a whole nother level. All right. Now, this is the book of Hebrews, chapter 13, verse 14. And it says, "For here we have no continuing city, but we seek one to come." Now, Paul writing this to the Hebrews. All right. You understand that back then, the world wasn't as bad as it is now. Now is one of the worst, really the worst time. Okay. And even then, Paul was saying it that we didn't have a continuing city back then. All right. Even in the time of King Solomon's rulership, it still wasn't enough. as glorious as it still wasn't enough. Why? Because it wasn't the kingdom of heaven. All right, now let's see. Oh, this is interesting. All right, let me actually look up the word city. I believe it's polis. Yeah, Greek polis. And it says here, one of the definitions for city, all right, the continuing city is the heavenly Jerusalem. All right. It says of the visible capital in the heavenly kingdom to come down to earth after the renovation of the world by fire. All right, now we understand that the capital, all right, or Jerusalem, that definition was referring back to Revelation, the 21st chapter, which John, it wasn't the actual city that came down from God out of heaven. That was representing the elect. Okay, because Jerusalem is not Jerusalem without the people. And as the land is still there, but it's not complete. You know, and there's a scripture where it says that the Lord did not choose the people for the land's sake, but the land for the people's sake. Okay, so that's why he gave us that land, because that's the best. Really, that land is the best land. All right. But it requires us to be in a certain condition, all right, a certain state, and a certain people to be there for it to really show forth its fruits. And that's really what the earth was made to be, a paradise. Okay, but it's under certain conditions that we will get to experience that paradise. And those conditions start with the destruction of this system and the return of our Lord and Savior, Yahushua HaMashiach. All right, so as Paul said, we don't have a continuing city here, because even in our own land, we were driven out of that land. And if you notice, we've basically been like pilgrims upon the earth. All right, if you go, let's say we start at Abraham, leaving Ur of the Chaldees, going into the land of Canaan. Then we went down into Egypt, came back into Canaan. Then the northern kingdom got, scattered, okay, taken over there to Assyria. Then they came to the Americas. Then we got taken over to Babylon. Then, we got split amongst the provinces of the Medo-Persians. Then some of us came back. Then the Greeks came, scattered some of us. You had Jake all up in Europe. So we've constantly been everywhere, Then the Romans came. Then you had 70 AD, and then boom, we got taken out the land. We went to Africa. Now we're here in America. Now we're all over the world. We don't have a continuing city. We don't have somewhere where we just dwell, because everywhere we go, because of these curses, we're being chased, we're being persecuted, we're being taken out of our comfort. And rightfully so, because the Lord did say what would happen if we broke those laws. Okay, but we still seek one to come, and that's going to be in the kingdom of heaven, when we're going to be able to have our own land, which really the earth, as Ezra said, was made for our sakes. So we're going to have that. We're going to have planets, and nobody's going to be able to come and discomfort us, from our habitation. As the scriptures say, no evil shall come nigh thy habitation. All right, nigh thy dwelling. Okay, so we're gonna actually experience full-on joy. You walk around, the garbage, smell, the people look dead. Hey man, it's just bad. You can see a chick that looks bad, but you can only imagine what she actually is. Hey, I actually just saw a video, all right, that the brother Yashalam put up, dealing with these women. And they were asking him, if she would let a dude hit after the first date. She said, hell yeah. And then dude asked her if she would let him hit it raw. She said, yeah. So, at this point, it's just, it's just everything is at the lowest of the lowest, the most corrupt. That's why we seek a kingdom to come, and it's just getting worse. Literally everything, the morality, the people, the food, the air, the water, the apartments, the land, the animals. Okay. Life itself is enslaved, and right now we're just trying to survive and hold on till Yahushua comes, but it's because of this that we want to get out of here, and we know how to do that. Okay, we know that there's gonna come a day and a time when Yahushua is going to actually show up, okay, with the heavenly host. And we are going to get delivered. We are going to get changed, as I'm going to go to here in the book of 1 Corinthians. We're going to get changed. All right, we're going to become powers. You understand that? We're going to transcend. We're going to go above humans and become gods. That's a whole nother level. And we believe that. And guess what? It will happen. But we know that it's going to happen regardless. The only thing is, are you going to partake in that? And that's where you doing the work, you staying diligent, you staying on fire comes in. Okay, because if you drop and you fall, that's not going to stop the prophecies from taking place. That's not going to stop the elect from getting delivered. That's not going to stop the wicked from getting destroyed and the kingdom of heaven getting ushered in. And you only get one chance to be a part of those, all right, who get to, be here with Yahushua, experience that first bodily change, and come down and subject. That's going to happen only once. When Yahushua comes down and we witness the transition and he gives us the power to go around and actually subject the world under the authority of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua. That's going to happen only once. Okay. And if you miss that event, that's going to be one of the biggest events that's going to be celebrated. So if you're wicked and you die on this side and you get reborn in the kingdom, yeah, you're going to be good. But you're not going to have experienced that. And that's an experience you don't want to miss. That's it. I mean, just imagine that. The day when we actually see the natural become supernatural. All right, we see that line between the two just disappear. Okay, so now let's go to the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 15, verse 51. And it says, behold, I show you a mystery. And there's a reason it's a mystery, because if it's secretive. A lot of people don't know this. They don't even know this is in the Bible. A lot of Christians don't even go into this chapter to understand this. So it's interesting how you can have a conversation with one of them and speak about having our bodies changed, and they'll look at you like you have 10 heads. They'll look at you like you're the beast with 7 heads and 10 horns, And the interesting is they preach about everlasting life. Well, the question is, how are you going to get everlasting life? Oh, you're going to die, and in heaven you're going to have everlasting life. But wait, the life is the spirit in the body on earth. Because if death is the spirit leaving the body, and the separation of the spirit from the body, and the spirit goes to the spirit world, then the opposite will be the spirit coming on the earth in a body. Isn't that life? So everlasting life, meaning that spirit is in the body on the earth for a continuous period of time that doesn't end. How do you have that in the spirit world? How do you have everlasting life when you're dead? But they don't ever think about that, But it's actually written in here, and that's why it's a mystery, because people don't understand that it's in the Bible that we are going to get our bodies changed. That's how we're going to live forever, because we're not going to be humans. Humans are mortal. Humans die. Everlasting life is going to be for gods. And that's why the Lord said, when he said he was going to give us everlasting life, that means he was going to change us into a state where we can live forever. And a God doesn't die, but humans die. That's a part of being human. You're mortal. So what's going to happen is the nation of Israel are going to become gods, and the rest of these nations are going to be humans. Why is that? Because when you go to the 3 classifications of men, you had the sons of men, which are men, humans, the sons of the wicked, which are men, humans, but you have the sons of God. If your father is a God and you are the son of a God, that makes you a God. And that's what it says in Psalms 82:6. As a matter of fact, let's go there real quick. All right, the book of Psalms, chapter 82, verse 6. It says, I have said, ye are gods. All right, Yah Shar Allah, he is a prince of the power. And the word power, that's what God means, a power. It says, and all of you are children of the Most High. Okay, so guess what? The time is coming, as we're about to read, 1 Corinthians 15 and 51. Behold, I show you a mystery. We shall not all sleep, meaning we're not all going to die, but we shall all be changed, because you're going to have some members of the elect that will die. Some are already dead, all right, and are in the spirit world, okay? But you're going to have some that are martyred on this side, okay, for the testimony of Yahushua. But you're going to have some that are going to remain alive and see the coming of the Lord, all right, in the flesh. But no, regardless of those that have died or those that do die, as martyrs, or those that are alive, all of us are going to be changed, okay? Meaning that, well, we're about to read it, verse 52. In a moment, in a twinkling of an eye. So it's going to be very quick, okay? At the last trump, for the trumpet shall sound, and the dead shall be raised incorruptible, and we shall be changed. So what's going to happen is you're going to have even those that died, they're going to be brought back. The scriptures talk about the earth is going to cast out the dead. So you're going to have some that are going to be brought back to be destroyed by those missiles, but you're going to have some that are going to be brought back to go up into those chariots with those new bodies. That's what it means by raised incorruptible, meaning they're no longer going to be humans. They're going to become gods. And that means we're not going to be corruptible. We're going to be perfect. Okay? We're going to, when we you talk about vibrations, you talk about vibes, you talk about elements, we talk about power and spiritual power. We're actually going to understand those things. Okay? And in understanding those things, we're going to be able to manipulate, utilize, enhance, and incorporate all of this, into whatever we want. Okay? And it's not going to be far-fetched. It's going to be normal to us. That's a part of being incorruptible. Now, the best part of it is the transition. Now, you ever heard the saying, food tastes better when you're hungry? That's exactly what it is. We are hungry right now. We've never experienced something like what we're reading of right now that we're about to experience. Lord willing, we endure unto the end. So when we do experience something like this, it's going to be like your first high. Like it's going to be like just completely, maybe that wasn't the best example, but what I mean, you know what I mean? It's going to be like that first time. Just imagine what that feels like, imagine what that feels like. So you get excited, you get a brand new car, you sit in a brand new car, you grab the steering wheel and it smells new, it's all yours. Well, we're going to have a brand new body. And you're just putting aside even the things we're going to be able to do in the body, just to feel the feel of a new body, being inside a new body. Imagine what that's like, man, that's going to be something that's worth fighting for. That's worth dying for, and then you go into the things that we're going to be able to do, and we're going to be unmatched, righteously so. And that's why I said we're going to have absolute joy, absolute power. And we don't even know. Look, man, you could really, you could have this new body and spend all of eternity figuring out new things you can even do. Because right now we don't know the full capabilities of, people don't even know the full capabilities of the human body, of the human brain. And imagine us being able to have a body that transcends that and being able to utilize it to the fullest. That's why we're out there. That's why we're going so hard. Okay. It says, 1 Corinthians 15 and 53, for this corruptible must put on incorruption, and this mortal must put on immortality. And there's a must, because the position we're going to be put in, the things we're going to experience, no mortal can experience that and be fine. We need to be immortal. That's the only way we can actually, fulfill these things. We can actually enjoy these things. Okay. Verse 54. So when this corruptible shall have put on incorruption, and this mortal shall have put on immortality, then shall be brought to pass the saying that is written, death is swallowed up in victory. Imagine that, not being able to get hurt. You get infirmities, and you see, we infirmities sound trivial until you actually you have one. Whatever sickness it is, and it just sucks, especially if it's one that it's able to knock you down. It sucks, man. It sucks. Okay. And never having to experience that anymore. No pain, no suffering, whether physical or emotional, none of that. Just joy, absolute happiness. What's that feel like? I don't know. You know, over here you get temporal relief. You don't get joy or happiness. You get temporal relief. The closest we'll get to actual joy is when we meditate on the scriptures, or when we see spiritual things coming to pass. But even that, we're not able to fully, experience that in itself. All right. Yeah, me out there. All right. So, moving on. This is verse 55. It says, "O death, where is thy sting? O grave, where is thy victory?" See, that's death and the grave are not going to have any power over us. Okay. Verse 56, "The sting of death is sin, and the strength of sin is the law. But thanks be to the Most High, which giveth us the victory through our Lord Yahushua HaMashiach." Verse 58, "Therefore, my brethren, or my beloved brethren, be ye steadfast, unmovable, always abounding in the work of the Lord, for as much as ye know that your labor is not in vain in the Lord." And you know that because Paul just told us what we're going to get. So don't be unmovable. Nothing should faze you. Nothing should shake you from this desire, this ambition, this path that we're on. Okay, and that's having that mindset allows you to give all diligence to make your calling and election sure. When you're feeling down and you don't really feel in the spirit, you meditate on spiritual things. Meditate on what to get, on what's coming. What do you want? What would you like in the kingdom? What's your most happiest fantasy you imagine in the kingdom? Meditate on that, and you'll see that instantly. You're gonna have that feeling of hasting onto the the return of the Lord, and in that you're gonna that spirit is gonna get up in you. You're gonna get fired up, okay, and you're gonna do what you got to do, okay, because doing the works is sort of like the closest way we can get to the kingdom, So it's almost like each time you do it, you're one step closer. Okay, so I have only a couple of more. This is the book of 1 Corinthians 9:25. It says, "And every man that striveth for the mastery is temperate in all things. Now they do it to obtain a corruptible crown, but we an incorruptible." Imagine that. You got people that work so much harder in this world for a vain corruptible crown. We're working for immortality. We are working for an eternal legacy. This is what you're working for. You're working for a spot. You're fighting for a spot, an eternal spot. Okay, so keep that in mind. And whatever spot you get, nobody can ever take that spot from you. Okay, but if it's a spot that you might not be the happiest in, even though you're still gonna be happy, you can't change that. So keep that in mind, man. Okay, and I mean, honestly speaking, if you want to compare the work we're doing to the reward we're gonna get, this is not fair to Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. All right, to put it raw, this is like almost like we're ripping off the Lord. Because if you mean to tell me that we gotta learn the scriptures, know what you have to do, don't do the things that the Lord doesn't want you to do, go out there and teach, do these videos, and depending on what lot you're in, just do what it is the Lord requires of you, which is really beneficial for your life. But just doing that alone, is gonna give you everything we just read here, and then more. It's gonna give you your craziest desire. What? Think about that. And when you passionately do the work of the Lord, it becomes a lifestyle. And at that point, it becomes even that much more easier, because it becomes you. And then now it becomes, well, all I gotta do is live my life, and I can, get all these things the Lord has promised me. If you make living this truth your life, then all you're doing is living your life, and in return, you're gonna get all these eternal rewards. So do you see how this is really a ripoff to the Lord? Because damn, this is like the Lord is literally saying, hey, like, this is here, just take the kingdom. Literally, here, just take the kingdom. This is what you have to do. This is how to do it. Now that you know that, just do it. And just wait. Do it and wait. Okay? verse 26, it says, I therefore so run, not as uncertainly, so fight I, not as one that beateth the air, but I keep under my body and bring it into subjection, lest that by any means, when I have preached to others, I myself should be a castaway. And that's not something you want. You don't want to be a castaway, man. All right, you want to be someone who the Lord can rely on to do this work passionately. Okay, so lastly, this is the book of 2 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 17. It says, for our light affliction, which is but for a moment, because what we're going through now in comparison to the kingdom, this is a moment. This is it, like that. Worketh for us a far more exceeding and eternal weight of glory. Okay, remember that. This isn't carnal riches. This isn't worldly blessings. This is eternal. Okay, this is eternal, man. Verse 18, while we look not at the things which are seen, but at the things which are not seen. For the things which are seen are temporal, but the things which are not seen are eternal. And that's what we want. All right, we want the eternal blessing. Okay, so keep that in mind and meditate upon that, and let that spark that fire in you, you know. And if you're already on fire, get hotter. If you're already hot, stay hot, you know. But continue in the work, and continue to abound, you know, that your works may be pleasing unto Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, and that you may be able to maintain that, okay, and grow, and Lord willing, make it up onto them chariots. All right. So with that, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai Ba'ashem Rakha Kodash. Until next time, Shalom.